unwavering commitment to identifying and being able to find solutions to critical areas of need and our development, I've come to address a number of issues this morning. I've toured across the countries, meeting and discussing and interacting with people on critical areas of development, and I found there's any areas that, while we will talk about government intervention, there's also need for interventions of well-being Nigerians, especially as it concerns the area of health, education, and pulling people out of poverty. And the two areas of need that I want to do what I call today an appeal challenge is in the area of water and education. And my appeal is to a number of Nigerians. 1% of the population of this country, which is about 202 million, I believe control about 70% of the national wealth. But my appeal is to 0.1%, 200,000. So it's even below the 1%. In water, I found the continuous need for potable water across the country, which to provide pipe-borne water will take several years, which I urge the government to do whatever it takes to start in that direction. But in the meantime, to have a short-term solution that can impact greatly, there's need to drill boreholes across the country. And my appeal is to these 200,000 people to drill at least one borehole a year. Just one. You could do more, but do one a year. This will cost between 5 to 10 million, just one a year. And that will be 200,000 boreholes scattered all over the country. And it will go a long way in solving this problem while we wait for government to do the potable water system, the pipe-borne water system. My second appeal is in the area of education. Education, as you all know, is the most critical tool of development. The more educated any nation is, the more developed, the more they pull their people out of poverty. And poverty has been an issue of challenge, even in our security. And we need to deal with it head on. And I've taken to do a study of how we can help, especially as we have millions of children out of school, mostly in the north. And I've taken to various states, taken stock of various studies, especially with the Almajiri school system, or learning system, as the case may be. I've now visited those who are, you can call the teachers, and had the opportunity of taking time and immerse myself into the Quranic learning with the young kids. And I could see in them very brilliant people that will be doctors, lawyers, scientists, competent political leaders of tomorrow. And I said, the only thing we need to do is to develop a Shanghai system of education that inculcates the chronic studies with Western education and ensure that all the centers across the north and wherever, even in the south where there's problem where you have some out of school children, you can put them together in a system like that and ensure that while they are learning the Quran, they're also learning mathematics, English, science, and skills that will make them a complete person and contribute immensely for the own of the country. Because I could see it. It's clearly a talent that is missing, and this is easy. I went further to study the cost implication, because it's very easy. Why they cannot go to school? My proposal is to take school to them. Take this education. The same spot where they are learning Quran, which have found them dedicated, willing to learn. Let's bring English teacher there. Let's bring mathematics teacher there. Let's bring science teacher there. Let's go there and teach them skills alongside the same learning. And I did the studies because I asked them in the center that I studied, how much do you pay the teachers? How much does it cost you to operate this facility? The facility had over 50,000 people with 2 teachers. And I said, what is their salary? You wouldn't even believe it. They paid them little or nothing. So I proposed even a salary to accommodate them while employing the English, mathematics, and science teachers. And I could see a cost to operate each center of about 5 million naira annually. But I doubled that to make it 10 million for each center annually. And my appeal is also that these 200,000 people support each of those centers. If we're able to do that, 50 people in one center with 200,000 people will give us 10 million. Imagine if we do half of that and we're able to pull 5 million young people out of the number of out-of-school children, and with this, knowing that in 5 years, these people will be in position to contribute immensely to the development of this nation, and we would have put them out of future poverty and reduce their involvement in future criminal activities and everything. So that is my appeal. This water and education. I have done 10 boreholes, about 10, out of which 1 or 2 is having challenges. I intend to go back and make sure that all of them are functional. And I'm also promising to do about 10 more. For the school system that I advocated, I've also supported 1 with the 10 million, and I intend to do 2 more. But my appeal is to these 200,000 wealthy Nigerians who can do without 20 million naira annually for us to support this challenge. Among other things they do, because they are taxpayers, who have been very good citizens, who have supported other areas, including pulling people out of poverty. But this challenge will go a long way. At the same time, I'm appealing to governments at all levels, federal, state, and local government. We're in crisis. It is time to cut all waste. Put all resources in this challenge of pulling the poor people out of poverty. We have a crisis that is driven by poverty. We can no longer, as a nation, afford to throw people into poverty. We need to pull them, start pulling them out of poverty now. That is my reason for taking your time this morning. Just an appeal. And I'm appealing to everybody. Let our priority now be fighting poor people, poverty, and helping poor people to live. So I believe that these privileged people, including government, are already tackling the food shortage. I mean, you know that if there's anybody who has preached about food shortage, it's me. I've always said that the priority should be in dealing with uncultivated vast areas of the north, which I still believe we're not giving enough attention. We need to do that aggressively. And I'm doing that. I'm supporting so many other areas of farming. And I'm sure you're following me. I'm going to so many farms, supporting so many farms. But I said, among other things we do, I'm doing things in health, visiting School of Nursing and everything. But this particular challenge that I posed now, I said they should add it to what they're doing, because you can not only deal with today. When you talk about food, you're talking about food of today. I want to talk about food of tomorrow and development of tomorrow. It is critical that as you're dealing with today, think about tomorrow. Those who focus only on today will miss tomorrow. We have a crisis in security that has been created by not supporting people educationally yesterday, doing the right things yesterday. So as we try to solve the problem of today, let's invest in tomorrow. And whether borehole will be the only thing I do, I just said it's in short term. I'm sure you know how to do far more than that. I'm not on campaign. I know we live in a system where for public office holders and people who call themselves politicians, which I'm among, we are only after elections. We'll only be seen during elections. But I can tell you, it's everyday job. It's something you need to go around and learn the problems of the country, so that you actually know how to solve them, and contributing and building a better society has nothing to do with office. I've said it several times that I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. I'm desperate to see Nigeria, the poor, the less privileged in Nigeria, being pulled out of their difficult situation daily. That is what I'm desperate to do. That's what I'm desperate to see. And all of us can do it in one way or the other. You can't be happy. You can't be moving around when several millions don't know where the next meal will come from. When people don't even have water. When I see children, if you see my pain, when I sat with those children and reading Quran and see how they were able to recite and write that, I could see Genesis everywhere that we have abandoned. So this is not campaign. On issue of Labour Party and NLC, that issue, I can tell you, will be solved. It's beginning giving its own attention. But we're always concerned about party. We're not concerned about what we're supposed to be concerned about, which is the future of the people. It is about the people. So for me, the people are where I'm focusing. On the issue of what I would have done if I was president, let me tell you, my brother. If I was president of Nigeria today, nobody would think of any new road until we finish the existing ones. You see, in this country, we are always trying to do things out of priority. Today, my brother, you can't move from Lagos to Badagry. A short road of less than 100 kilometers. It's been under construction for several years. Lagos Ibadan is just being completed for several years. You can see Badagry to Ore. The same thing if you come in to the north, you look at Kanu to Kaduna, Kanu to Medugri, Sokoto to Funtua. I can show you all the roads. In Kaduna, I drove from Kaduna to Abuja yesterday. Just Kaduna bypass alone can keep you for hours. And when I go to Jere, it is the same thing. You can't go from here, drive from Abuja to Okene, to Awuchi, to Benin. In fact, Benin to Awuchi road is impossible. You can't go from Benin to Sapele to Warri. You cannot go from Calabar to Uyo. These are roads. You can't drive today from 9th Mile to Makurdi. These are roads that are already existing and have gone bad and we need to repair. That's where we need to put our resources and deal with it. We already have a network of roads that if we fix it, you can be able to move the economy. Then you introduce new one. Why are people introducing new things when the existing one is not existing? When I was governor of Anambra State, I started by completing the roads started by my predecessor, Dr. Chris Ngige. And then after that, you can add a new one. Because there's existing roads that are not, you cannot even drive past. So for me, that is the critical areas that needs attention.